Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Brendan, I am playing a, air quotes, real deck. Brendan basically gave me a dealer's choice league. The deal was, it has to be a real deck though, no memes, no jank. And that's perfect because I have a tournament to test for. I'm recording this on November 11th. It's Friday. You're probably going to see this next Tuesday. And I'm leaving for the Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy Open in Ohio in just a few hours, actually. I wanted to test this deck 2 days ago, but Uro was bugged on Magic Online. It was doing this thing where when you tried to escape a card, and this was true of Kroxa and Underworld Breach as well, there was a bunch of bug reports coming in. It was adding the escape cost to the mana value, or mana cost. So Uro cost 1 green, 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 blue, blue, blue to escape. I was in the middle of recording a video, this video in fact, when I realized that that was not going to work. The deck's completely unplayable when Uro costs 7. It's not something you can power through. But they fixed it. Uro's back. And so am I. Just in time, because this is where I want to start for this tournament. I love, obviously, if you know me, if you've watched my channel ever, you know I love the ability to deal with whatever. I don't like glass cannon decks. I don't like decks that your mulligan is the biggest decision you're going to make of the game. Like I want to see lots of cards. I want to make lots of little decisions, and then I want to beat my opponent with powerful spells at the top end once they're out of gas. And Uro and Minsc and Boo check those boxes. Brainstorm, Ponder, or Expressive iteration. I recorded Sharkstill for the channel yesterday, and my big gripe with Sharkstill right now is that Standstill is a 2-mana way to do a lot of work to draw 3 cards. You have to do your deck building in a specific way. You have to get the board into a spot where it's safe to not cast a spell for a while until your opponent has to pop your Standstill. Meanwhile, Expressive iteration, legal in the format, 2 mana, look at the same 3 cards that Standstill would draw you, and you get to take the best 2. And it requires no setup, no specific deck building whatsoever, except containing blue and red mana. And yeah, this card, as long as it's legal, barely makes sense to do any other card draw engine. Predict, accumulated knowledge, Standstill, Face the Mind Sculptor, just any other thing that you might want to do would have to happen after you add your 4 Expressive iterations to your deck, and that's kind of just where control in the format is. 4 EIs here. The mana base, there's nothing super fancy here. No Field of the Dead, no Triome to cycle in the late game. There is just fetch lands, dual lands, Brackus, Wasteland, Mystic Sanctuary. That's what we got here. Just a little bit of tech built into the mana base. But in general, this is just trying to make 4-color spells work. I did start with the deck that I won the $500 trophy challenge with last month. The only changes I made is I turned main deck Pyroblast into main deck Dress Down. The metagame in general is sort of sliding away from blue suit mirrors. I'm seeing a lot of Reanimator, a lot of Storm, a lot of green-white X depths kind of things, elves. There's just a lot of spots where Pyroblast doesn't have a target. And we are pretty solid in both control mirrors and against Delver without the main deck Pyroblast spike. But we are not always solid against creature decks, like Death and Taxes is a slog. Elves is pretty much a nightmare, and being able to fog elves for a turn, big deal on Dress Down. Urza Saga decks can be really challenging. This Dress Down checks a lot more boxes that need to be checked than Pyroblast does. That's in the main deck now. Pyroblast are in the sideboard. I changed Izzet Staticaster into a second Kozilek's Return. A lot of the things you need to kill are just X2s, and Izzet Staticaster doesn't do what it needs to. This is really important against those same matchups I just mentioned: Elves, Death and Taxes. Kozilek's Return can kill Emery, as well as any number of Thopter tokens or servos out of an Urza Saga style deck. Elvish Reclaimer out of lands or green-white depths. A Knight of the Reliquary with Dress Down or Endurance is help. It's just a 2/2. There's just a lot of stuff that needs to be dead and has 2 toughness. Made room for a Meltdown in this deck. The last build I played had multiple Carpet of Flowers. I think it was 2 or 3, and that's a card that I'm not really high on in general. I feel like our cantrips removal and Life from the Loam are already pretty good at getting ahead of land destruction strategies. I'm not really worried about Wasteland in this deck. I mean, I'd prefer not to play against it, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of non-basics in the deck, but we are built with a high land count, high cantrip count, and Life from the Loam and Uro. Power through Wasteland. I'm more worried about Blood Moon style effects, which Carpet doesn't help with. So I shaved down to just 1 Carpet, made room for a Meltdown to support those artifact matchups that are tough. I do expect at Buffalo Chicken Legacy the metagame to be pretty fair and grindy. I know a lot of folks over that way play Death and Taxes. Some of the best Death and Taxes players in the world will be at this tournament. Green-White Depths is popular and has won a number of their events. Painter, 8 Cast, just these Saga decks. This is partially targeting that metagame, but also I don't think I've made any choices that are completely off the rails into solving a specific metagame. This is just, what do you want to beat? And I have taken a few clicks back from hard targeting Delver in my previous list and just spread the love a little bit for other decks. And we're still just fine against Delver, which is the important part. 3 Hydroblast variants, Blue Blast, Hydroblast split. I think this is absolutely necessary. Minsc and Boo, you got to beat these mirrors. Hydroblast fighting over Expressive Iterations, Dragon's Rage Channelers, Price of Progress. Wow, Price of Progress, that's a big deal. I would not leave home with less than 3 of these. I even considered main decking the one. Like, this Dress Down is a flex slot. So is the Terminus, but I love the Terminus. The Dress Down and the Terminus I would consider flex slots if you want to main deck a Blast or something else. But I've gone with the anti-creature technology. Dress Down also, just hitting Doomsday is a big deal. That matchup is tough. I would consider it negative, but we do have Endurance, Force of Will, and now we also have a Dress Down to help tie it all together. I just love a well-balanced deck that's got answers to everything. You're never really dead till you're dead. You can gain life, you can go on the offense, you can kill stuff with the reliability, the plows, the endings, the Terminus. You can find the cards you need. There's Storm Ponder and EI in this deck. Yeah, this is my kind of Magic. I hope this league goes well because I don't know what my backup plan is for Buffalo Chicken if this just feels awful today. Probably just play Delver, but I'm going to try this first and hope it works. Brendan, this is your real deck in 4-color Minsc and Boo control. Let's do it. I'm on the play with the hero hand. If I were in a control mirror, I would snap this off, honestly, but I don't know what I'm up against, so I'm gonna send it. There we go. This is the same hand, but with spells in it. I'll keep this and bottom the Savannah. Got a nice little interactive grip with Uro to pull ahead. If they're combo, we're dead, but that's usually true in pre-board games. Island Preordain. All right, Preordain's not good. That does tend to indicate combo. They top-bottomed the Preordain. Multiple EIs chilling. There's no zeros in the deck other than lands, so I'm not going to fire off a turn 2 EI. Has to anticipate. Okay, looking like Doomsday over here. Uh-oh. Seas and Deceased. Oh, they took one of the EIs, though. It gives me hope, because if they took a card that I have 2 copies of, they must be worried about it. Consider Preordain and Thoughtseize in a deck. This has got to be Doomsday. Minsc and Boo. All right, I am going to EI here. I'm going to get Volcanic Island and Tropical Island. Those also cast Uro next turn. You might daze this. Uro in hand. Bulk on the bottom. Exile Scalding Tarn. And play my land for turn. Not pretty. We are at the mercy of whatever this deck decides to do here. Dress Down's a good draw. Endurance is a good draw. Force of Will's a good draw. Personal Tutor. Okay. If they have a Street Wraith, they can Doomsday now. Love to get another turn out of this, but I'm not hopeful against 6 cards in hand. Oh wow, fetch land. Okay, they are on the super slow here. Come on, interaction. Our set. I don't hate that. I'm gonna play my land. Fetch. Probably just Tundra. I don't care about white cards at all, though. I can't get Savannah with Scalding Tarn. I do want to get an island to draw on Mystic Sanctuary. I will get Tundra all the same. Right, Narset is good at stuffing post-Doomsday cycling business, and she digs for answers to stuff. This is a powerful card if I can get it to resolve. I've played around Days. They have Force, then they have Force. First pitching Personal Tutor. All right, yep, they were going to force me either way here. 3 cards left in their hand, plus the Doomsday. One of them is either a land or a Dark Ritual to actually cast this thing. Okay. There is the Doomsday. You're going to go to 7 when this resolves, which is unfortunately more than Minsc and Boo can deal in one shot. But having a big haste creature in the deck does give you another angle against Doomsday because they use their life total to go off. I am in the market for a Dress Down or Endurance at this point. I probably need to Mystic Sanctuary EI back. That just gives me 3 looks instead of 1 at these important cards I need. They put Consider in their pile, which is nice of Magic Online to highlight that for me. A Consider in the pile means they're going to try to win. I mean, with a cycle, I think they can win. They win now. If they cycle, then Consider, put Lion's Eye Diamond in the graveyard, draw, or put Deep Analysis in the graveyard, draw Lion's Eye Diamond, and then Deep Analysis draws Land Oracle. Yeah, they can win right now if they have a free cycle. Looks like that's not the plan, but Consider is in the pile. Let's take a peek at this deck. Force, Force, Force. Oh, they are brainstorming now? Alright, maybe we are dead after all. They moved into second main. Gave me some hope. 1, 2, 3. There is a Force of Will in the pile. I gotta imagine there's a Cavern of Souls. We know there's a Consider. Oh no, the other Force of Will's at the bottom here. There's not a Force in the pile. Consider, Deep Analysis. Oh, Lion's Eye Diamond's here. They usually don't have 2. Yeah, I'm not sure what's in their pile. Or why they just brainstorm now. Gonna fetch for EI in the end step here. Mystic Sanctuary. Give me my iteration back. Looking for Endurance and or Dress Down. Aggressive Iteration. Force of Will in my hand. Minsc and Boo on the bottom. Exile Brainstorm. Cast Brainstorm off this white mana I don't really care about. This is more looks at Endurance. Don't think Wasteland's going to help me. I put back Prismatic Ending and Minsc and Boo. Or no, just 2 Prismatic Endings. Duh. Now I got some options. I can Ponder to scramble this up and then layer on Days with Wasteland. I mean, wasting them seems like a disaster at this point. I'm going to Ponder and shuffle and hope to find Endurance. Unless Endurance is the 3rd card down. Any order, shuffle your library, yes. Alright, here we are. I have 1 Force of Will, which is not good enough to beat Doomsday ever. Maybe hitting the Doomsday up front, but now that they've made their pile, I'm sure there's just an easy Cavern of Souls win here somewhere for them. Here's the Consider. I'm actually going to force this because they draw Cavern of Souls, they just win. But if I can keep 3 cards in their deck, that gives me another turn to try to figure it out. Alright, deck, Endurance time. Okay. Guess it's time to Uro. Green, blue, colorless. Find me some gas. Endurance, Dress Down. EI, alright. It'll land in. Endurance and Dress Down are still the hits here. Red, blue. Endurance in hand. I've already played a land, Holding Tarn to the bottom, exile Swords to Plowshares. I just don't want that card in my deck anywhere. Okay, so they will need to protect from Endurance somehow, and all their Force of Wills are out of the deck. Even they Duress or Thoughtseize me. Duress could take Minsc and Boo, which is the same as taking Endurance when I don't have 3 mana. So if they Duress or Thoughtseize, I can Endurance in response and put 3 more cards into their deck. But they'd have to work through, and that gives me time to put Uro into play. Thassa's Oracle on the stack. Gonna resolve. And I guess it's time to Endurance. I'll put your deck into your deck. Oracle. There are now 5 cards in the deck. They can look at 2 of them. If they made a double Oracle pile, and Consider just went back into the deck. Oh dear. I have to win this game somehow. Green, green, blue, blue. I'm gonna cast Uro. I'd love to find a blue card here. That's interesting. I'm gonna fetch Savannah and Prismatic Ending this Oracle. I have no idea if that's good or does anything. I had no idea if they were gonna bring that back again. And I'm gonna fire off my Wasteland at this point. I'm just in deny them whatever I can mode. I need to connect with this Uro 2 times. If I untap with my Force of Will, I'll feel pretty good on top of this. It was the 3rd Expressive iteration that even gave us a chance here. Like this card, just this freaking card. Cast so many of this card this game. They discarded, they Thoughtseized one, and I've still cast 3 of them. Uh-oh. Well, the Street Wraith, the Consider is in their bottom 3 cards somewhere. Unless, I don't actually know what they did with their Thassa's Oracle trigger. If they bottomed both of the cards, then Consider would have been in the top 3 cards somewhere. And if they can consider another round, yeah, Consider can get them to 1 card in their deck right now. Oh no. Oh no. Using their own Consider. Oh, are they going to cast Doomsday again? Or no, they needed that land to cast the Oracle. All right. Yeah, they're just filtering black into blue. Oh, bummer. This was well played. All right, yep, double Oracle pile. And I look like a fool for not leaving up Force of Will, but I don't know that... I mean, if they just literally couldn't do anything to fight over it, I'm fairly convinced one of these last 2 cards is Cavern of Souls. All right, yeah, they did a really good job pushing through that. Their double Oracle pile in game 1 got me good. I like Endurance. Surgical's not great, but it's fine. Red Blast is kind of tricky. They can make piles that just don't get Red Blasted, but Red Blast helps during the development of the piles. Kind of a nightmare that leaving in Swords to Plowshares is something you kind of have to do against Doomsday these days because of Shieldred. I'm going to switch 1 to a Carpet of Flowers, just mostly cut removal, and I'll leave in some plows to respect Shieldred. On the play, I will keep my hand. I've got Dress Down and Force. There's Endurance, not a green card yet. Even Red Blast to tangle with. Or early cantrips if they cast them. We've seen Personal Tutor out of them as well. That's a great card to Red Blast. Preordain. I'm just coming at you here. Do I want Volcanic Island or Taiga is the question. With this Endurance in my hand, I think I want Taiga. Starting turn 1. Blast. That is a land someday. I'd rather make a normal land drop and try to brainstorm this into a different land. Ponder resolves. Shuffled their Ponder. Love to see it. On fetch land. Ooh, EI. Ugh, okay. I'll cast that card. I'm gonna get dazed, flustered. What's going on here? Consider in response. Yeah, sure. Consider dumped at Daze. So Daze they either already have or is not what they're trying to do here. Okay, already had it. What's the answer? I'll make my sad tap land drop. But at least it's a land drop. I'll take it. And that's 2 Dazes they won't have for Force of Will. Brainstorm, yep. Brainstorm found a fetch, and we've got a Personal Tutor. I don't think I want to force the Personal Tutor. Let's fight over the Doomsday. Ooh, Narset. I can put Narset on the stack. She does get dazed. But alright, here we go. Narset is in. That makes my life much better. Oh my god, I found Minsc and Boo. Nar setting for green cards is pretty nice. Now I have Force blue card and Endurance green card. And if I get to untap through all that, I can dress down. Alright, have a peek. They duressed to find a super juiced up hand. Now they know what they gotta beat, which makes my life harder. Doomsday in the grip. If they Dark Ritual Doomsday right now, they know it's gonna resolve, but then they need to make a pile that beats Endurance, Dress Down, and Narset, and respects its life total enough that Minsc and Boo doesn't just kill them. I imagine it can be done, but it's a tough road, and Narset gets another peek. We're in the tank for a while and decided on Thoughtseize, second layer of attention. I imagine Dress Down is the card you take here. You can't cast Endurance unless you're worried about the power and toughness on Endurance. Or you could build a super slow pile that just doesn't lose to Endurance. Right, Endurance it is. And Dark Ritual Doomsday, leaving the Dress Down behind, and Narset still involved. One card left in hand. All right. I think if I draw a land that casts it, I just shove Minsc and Boo and make them dead on board. The Thoughtseize put them to a life total where they go to 6 when Doomsday resolves. If I hit them once with Boo, then they can't cycle Street Wraith anymore. They can't Thoughtseize anymore. It would be a great time to find a red or green source. Consider is once again highlighted in the graveyard. Consider can get 2 cards deep into the deck through Narset if they consider on my turn. Not a lot of things go 2 cards deep with Narset around, though they do have to pass the turn into me. They can go 1 card deep by milling themselves, but then they don't get the draw on their own turn. Mandatory Force of Will check. All 4 are here. Duress check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 discard spells accounted for. They might have a 6th. No Cavern. In the pile. Thassa's Oracle. We know they play 2. There's a Mystical Dispute in exile here. That's a card that can tangle with Dress Down on low resources. Oh yeah, we're jamming. Pyroblast and Expressive Iteration. I think I want to use Pyroblast to protect Dress Down when we get there. I'm going to grab Pyroblast, then shove Minsc and Boo onto the stack. And just hope they can't kill me from 1 card in hand with 3 Narset. Tropical Island. This has to be a green or red source, and drop works. That also gives me double green if I find another Endurance. Yeah! Alright, cool. We did it. I say all the time against when I'm playing these BANT X decks versus combo like Doomsday or Oops All Spells, 1 piece of interaction rarely beats them. 2, it's a coin flip, and 3 is usually enough, and that hand did have 3. I did not see any Sholdreds in exile. What does that mean for me? I mean, I don't really have the ability in this configuration of the deck to go completely off my removal. Like, I'm not bringing Kozilek's Return or Hydroblast. I can bring in Collector Oof that at least hits Lotus Petal and Lion's Eye Diamond. Attacks for power and toughness. It's better than Swords to Plowshares in that regard. Didn't see any red cards. No creatures. Okay. This is now my deck. I'm also +1 green card. I guess with the, if I'm just playing for pure value, cutting Swords to Plowshares entirely for Force of Vigor, just up my green card count or up my blue card count. I'm going to keep this Force blue card hand. Not ideal. It's certainly not the Endurance Dress Down Force hand we had last game, but it's got something. Now it has 2 forces. Dark Ritual is on the stack. Duress. Alright, well, they can't take both forces. Probably would have led on Duress to make sure the coast was clear before my Dark Ritual was kicking around. I'm not a Dazed deck. You didn't have to sequence it like that. Unless they also, if they just have Dark Ritual, Duress, Doomsday, Force of Will, then good job. But this is looking awkward. Second Dark Ritual. Do they have a second Thoughtseize? Okay, they could Mystical Dispute. And I'm countering this if I can. And force blue card. Okay. Yep. Good job. You did it. Yeah, that was a just potent nutshot to get the Doomsday through. Endurance and Dress Down still play. They probably have a fetchable land in the pile here. That's just a fun shortcut to get a card out of your deck. Okay. Looking for Dress Down or Endurance at this point. I could fetch Loam, fill my hand back up, but that puts the shields down on Dress Down and Pyroblast. They know that I just don't have anything. Basically just have to hope for them to mess up or get too creative with their pile here. There's the fetch, 3 cards left in the deck. All I have to do is cycle Straight Wraith and I lose. But that fetch just changed their pile, unless they put Oracle on top. All right, deck, time for Dress Down. Yeah, flooding out when you're already dead. Absolute stains. Yep. With 1 card left in hand, it's probably Mystical Dispute, but it doesn't matter because we're dead. Yep. Absolutely smashed. They had a turn 2 Doomsday with 2 layers of protection, and you're not going to win those games. Though, with Dress Down and Endurance in the deck, we did genuinely still have a chance to win this game. GG's, on to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing, make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder. You know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on Moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there. On the draw in round 2 with this Nutter Butters, I'm going to keep, I got Force of Will, I got my 1-up Loam. Any hand with Loam in it, I'm just instantly in on in almost every matchup. Certainly in the blind. Another basic island situation. Balding Tarn, basic island Ponder. We're playing against a scholar with excellent taste. Very smart and probably attractive individual. So they did steal my opening line. I think I get royalties every time someone casts turn 1 Ponder. Someday that check will clear. I'm going to play my fetch land and pass. I don't know what they're doing yet. I can play around Wasteland, but Island is honestly kind of not great if I don't have to play it. I can Swords to Plowshares if that's necessary off of this Misty Rainforest, which Island does not provide. A second Island. Mating. I could Brainstorm now. And then cast Ponder. Yeah, I'm going to Brainstorm now. I don't think I'm going to need these removal spells for this matchup. I'm going to get rid of the Plow, and with Loam set up here, so Uro making the second land drop is pretty great. I'm just going to get rid of the removal spells. This is shaping up to be either a combo or control matchup. The Prismatic Ending I might miss. I fetched with the intention of casting Ponder. I'm not sure that I should. Yeah, I'm just not going to cast Ponder, actually. I should have left that land unfetched, but Force blue card pitching Ponder, Endurance green card pitching Loam still gives me a big Uro next turn. Decks that this could be are like Darkstill kind of wedge of control with many basics. I guess Guy could have this start technically, but this is looking more like Show and Tell or even High Tide. And a fetch land has arrived. That Swords to Plowshares I tried to get rid of. I'm going to play Uro. Let's put something forward here. Terminus. Plenty of white removal in this matchup where I'm sure I don't want it. I can Mystical Sanctuary my Brainstorm back. Okay, Lotus Petal. They've revealed themselves. I'm thinking show and tell at this point. Done a lot of sculpting. I'm pretty worried. Worst pitching ponder. Done my best. I would consider this the nightmare matchup for what it's worth. I mean, the Pyroblast and the sideboard help a little bit, but not really a good time. So I'll put Endurance into play. Endurance versus Omniscience. Endurance does create a trigger where if I have Pyroblast, I can destroy Omniscience, but that is not what's going on here. And I'm not going to Endurance anybody. The Uro in my graveyard, and I don't want to just put all these nice cantrips back into their deck if they need to dig with Omniscience, but yeah, they were set up. All the red blasts do help a lot for this matchup. In pure BANT, this is the matchup I would want to never ever play in my life. But we do get the red. Swords to Plowshares. And with Dress Down, Swords to Plowshares does actually have text. Don't love Terminus. Prismatic Ending's bad. Prismatic Ending can hit Sneak Attack, but so can Hydroblast. I'm looking at Force of Vigor because that can hit Omniscience or Sneak Attack once they've resolved. Endurance is a threat with Flash. I said flat. I just started to combine Flash with threat. It's a flat. But I don't think that's enough to put it in the deck for. I don't think I need 2 Force of Vigors. Oh, they might Blood Moon me. Yeah, alright, fine. Force of Vigors in. Minsc and Boo is how I win the game. Endurance I don't like. Uro can also create a trigger. And the Dress Down Plow interaction is fun, but I think my objective should be don't let a monster come into play. 10 card sideboard coming at you. Do it. This is a mulligan. Not a single land. Oh, come on. Not like this. Going to 5. I will keep this, but I'm not happy about it. We're going to get rid of Plow and Wasteland. I don't think I'm supposed to keep Wasteland for the cheese factor. This seems like a recipe for disaster. My opponent's got all 7 of their cards. What a world. I wish I had 7 cards. I wish I had 6 cards. Bottom both on the Preordain. Okay. And is starting to develop a little bit. The plan here is to Brainstorm in the end step and then EI next turn. Storm. Oh, Carpet is nice. Uro, Minsc and Boo. Can end up with both these in my hand, should I choose to accept it. Or no, I can't. I'd have to shuffle away one of them. I think Boo is better than Uro. So Uro creates the trigger that I've been talking about off the show and tell. Also just get rid of both and look for interactive stuff. I am going to draw. I need to win this game somehow. There's Uro. Here's Carpet. Moved my second main. Make a red mana. Yes, make red. Now I'm protected against Blood Moon. Has to be a blue source. There's no white cards I care about in my deck right now. I think I just want the Volcanic Island. I could get the other Trop, and yeah, that actually starts moving towards the place I want to be, which is Mystic Sanctuary and blue, blue, green, green. Oh, looks like I'm getting Pyroblasted or Disputed or something here. Yep. I'll make my land drop and pass. I could have used my land drop to protect that from Pyroblast, but I was trying to use EI to find the land drop, so that didn't really hold water. Now I am largely shields down. I can hit a sneak attack or Blood Moon, but the whole show and tell half of the deck is live as possible. They played Volcanic Island. They did not shuffle their Ponder and Scrid. Okay, joke's on you. I have nothing in my hand anyway. So dead. Uro, let's go. Do something. Right, found another Uro is the answer apparently. I'm going to use Carpet. I'm going to make blue, green, cast Uro. Uro drew a land. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play the other half of Uro right now. Then die to their show and tell. Deal. Savannah and Volcanic Island, I think, is the answer. Okay, here we are. Tapped out, dead to everything. Ooh. You're saying there's a chance. They made their resources too thin here. Maybe they'll cast Sneak Attack and pass the turn. Hoping for the best. I'm F6 under this defense grid. That's Sneak Attack mana. Cast Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack. Sneak, 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 sneak. 4 mana in the pool. Oh my god. Please cast Sneak Attack. Oh my god. Please pass the turn. Don't Spirit Guide me. Don't Spirit Guide me. Oh my god. We're getting a turn. Blue Blast is here to ride. Don't use Carpet yet. Don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna land. That's pretty great. Okay. Make blue. Destroy the Sneak Attack. And now I can pitch cast Force and pay for the defense grid. Come on, Uro. Uro hard carry. Not going to force Brainstorm. I'll wait for a payoff. I can Mystic Sanctuary the Blue Blast back if that is what I need to be doing. Looks like they're committing to another card here. Go and tell. I'm going to Force of Will. Pitching Uro. Okay, that worked. I'm going to draw for turn. If it's a blue card, I'll put Force on top before combat with Mystic Sanctuary. If it's not a blue card, I'll try to figure it out. Ooh, it is not only a blue card, but that blue card. Not that that matters. Like, I'm not in a place to hardcast anything here. I could put Blue Blast on top. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Because that doesn't telegraph that I have Force of Will if they try to play something that is not red. But I also still have Force of Will. Okay, if they crack the fetch, they're dead to Uro. All right, 6 life. That's a good number. They got to win right now through Blue Blast or Force of Will. And they can't. Okay. Uro just muscling around the busted combo deck. Do I think that Minsc and Boo is better than Swords to Plowshares? Basically, the calculus there is, do I want some slim out if they resolve specifically Grizzlebrand and then can't protect it? Or if I can dress down an Emrakul and remove it? Or do I want additional ability to just attack them as soon as the coast is clear? And I think I just talked myself into it. If I only have 1 white removal spell in the deck, should it be Terminus? Because that actually can remove an Emrakul. I also have Caracas against those angles of their deck. I think Terminus is probably better. That one can at least get both of their creatures or multiple creatures. I don't know. It's not pretty either way. I'm a big fan of this hand, though. Force blue card, also Hydroblast. Or no, that is the blue card. Force blue card, or Force blue card, Hydroblast. Well, that was the Mull to 5 last game, too. Man, Uro, what a card. I am worried about defense grid, don't have a great plan for that. Maybe my 1 removal spell should have been Attic Ending instead of Terminus. Bottom to the Preordain, all of it. It's gonna land go. Okay, I like Brainstorm a lot more than I like defense grid on this turn. Got a Brainstorm and pass from the opponent. Okay, now I have Force blue card, and Hydroblast. Got the whole squad rolled up. I can also Brainstorm for more action. I'm going to Brainstorm in the end step if they don't do anything else. This Force of Vigor is looking lonely without a green card. I also would really like to jam Narset. Storm in the end step. On the land, that's good. Force of Vigor, no green card to go with. That's got to go. And I think I'm just going to put the land on top, then draw it. And despite what I said about jamming Narset, it's not going to happen right now. I can spend another turn end step brainstorming. And it's just full of blue instant speed interaction right now. I can beat Blood Moon. I have Hydroblast and access to my basic island. I'm going to fetch in the end step. Get Tropical Island. Then I'm going to brainstorm using Tundra. Extremely interested in hitting my land drops. All right, cool. That's a lot of lands, and they're good ones. Don't want this island in the mix. I want to fetch for that when I feel like it. I'm going to draw the Volk, though. I'll play that and pass the turn. Mystic Sanctuary is online. Just super patience. Patience is my superpower. Lotus Petal. Lands are being cracked here. Sneak Attack plus activate. Hydroblast right on the top. Bang. This is a fight we're going to have to fight if they fight over this. Red Blast. I could force pitching Brainstorm. I could also just cast the Brainstorm. I think Brainstorm is the worst card in this hand, at least in this position. Sneak attack's answered. I get to untap, stick Narset. That basic island is on top of my deck. I'm going to fetch for Mystic Sanctuary and rebuy Hydroblast here. Rebuy the Hydroblast. That's a blue card. It also protects Narset from Pyroblast. I'm going to leave up red in case I Narset into a Pyroblast. Activate Narset. She's in there. Force of Vigor, Minsc and Boo, EI. I'm going to Minsc and Boo. I'm going to try to win this game. I have Force Blue card and Hydroblast and Karakas, and they can't draw extra cards. Let's go. Activate Narset first. See if I can protect my boys. Oh, yeah. Pyroblast added to the Hydroblast. And here we go. This is why we brought the last Boo in. You got to win the game once you're ahead. You can't give them forever to figure it out. Now, Force Blue card, they can't draw cards. They're under real pressure, and I have Hydro or Pyroblast. I can't do both. Checked. I'm trying to imagine a 5-card hand that beats me. I'm sure it exists, but like they need the A and the B, like the sneak or the show, and then the monster. That's 3 cards left in their hand. If they Pyroblast my Force, they're tapped out. All right, now show or sneak attack is in the mix here. I'm gonna Hydroblast it. And if I want Volcanic Island, doesn't matter. I think I want Tropical Island. Or I could get Basic Island. Yeah, I think getting Blood Mooned is the only way I can reasonably lose this game. They don't know I also have Force. If they Pyroblast here, okay. They knew about that and cast it anyway. I guess they were hoping I was out of blue sources. Well, we took one against what I consider one of the worst matchups. Let's go. Keep it rolling.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the draw for round number 3. I got a Force of Will, some interaction, and a Ponder. Keep it. Ooh, we got to try hard. Playing against Delver. This is actually great because I am testing for a tournament. These Force of Will's looking pretty bad right now. Going to be careful about Daze and Wasteland right now, but I do have 2 plows. Delver didn't flip. I'll take my medicine here. Second land. That is not Wasteland. I like that. The 3rd plow. Okay. I'm going to hang this Taiga out here. They fire off a Wasteland. They're going to hit the wrong one. I really want to protect my blue source because I might need Ponder to find my next land. And if they just second main Wasteland, hit Taiga, I can float mana, plow, play around Daze, move on with my life. Okay, cool. No Wasteland involved. I get Tundra because that's the one that casts Ponder. I'm more worried about Dragon's Rage Channeler. That one has all sorts of other text on it in addition to power and toughness. Cool. I can Ponder with the Volcanic Island and still hold up Plow and play around Daze. A lot of EIs. If I draw EI off Ponder, then I draw EI for turn, then I EI into the land, and we're good to go. Silver still didn't flip, but they didn't shuffle either. And I'm just going to Plow now. Like, this damage is adding up. I'm going to Plow this thing eventually. I have another one for Murktide, which they have 0 cards in their graveyard to cast. EI, do I want to be super aggro and force this? I don't like this, but also this feels like a good spot to get value off of Force of Will. Oh, they forced me back. They cared a lot about that. All right, deal. Wasteland can't take me off EI. I have blue-red in any combination of 2 lands in play. On Mishra's Bauble. 3 cards in their hand. Red-blue. I'm going to leave up the white for a Plow. Oh, there's at least 1 land here, and we got 2 instead. Misty in hand, Karakas on bottom, exile Misty. That was kind of the perfect EI in this situation. Just load up on lands for the rest of the game, make sure I don't get dazed, make sure I don't lose to Wasteland, and let's keep playing. All right, they're chaining together EIs too. We've got a a real legacy experience here. Mystic Sanctuary, exile. Oh. They can fetch, then play Mystic Sanctuary, rebuy Expressive Iteration. That is just as good as fetching it. It still gets you the EI. But my deck has that trick in it too. I am running out of answers to Murktide Regent. 3 of my 4 plows already accounted for. Red, blue. I say that because this Delver is in play, and I would like to remove it, but I don't know that I have the luxury. Minsc and Boo in hand. Drop to the bottom. I'm going to go for a Narset here. Don't love turning on Daze right in this moment, but I don't know that I have much option. Sanctuary. I'm going to put Swords to Plowshares on top. I want to make sure that the next things are answered. The Daze is especially a blowout because they have Mystic Sanctuary. Just hope they don't have it. And they do. Always do. Alright. That was still an extra card off EI. And we know Delver's going to flip because they put EI on top of their deck. Here's their third one. Mishra's Bauble. Okay. Every time it's Mishra's Bauble and not Wasteland, I'm having a good time. I've been abaubled. Six Sanctuary is back again. Getting EI again. As you do. And the Bauble's going to immediately draw the EI. Where's the Plowshares? Yep, I knew that was there. I literally just put it there. I'm going to go for Narset. Got me with the main deck Pyroblast. Sure. Plow your creature. Here's their 4th EI of the game. And they have DRC to juice it up extra. Yeah, this is what I was talking about in the deck tech of, you know, why would you work harder than you need to in a format where you could just do this? They did not mill their card off Surveil. Finally found a Wasteland. That sucks. They can take me off white with that. I have lots of lands in my deck, and I'm holding Brainstorm. Who knows? Of Will. I could Minsc and Boo, immediately throw Boo at Delver, just kill that, draw a card. It gets sent to the Shadow Realm by Daze, and I lose my Minsc and Boo immediately. Yeah, I'm just going to Brainstorm. Well, we're fucked. I'm going to put back these 2 Minsc and Boos. Then EI. I'll put Minsc and Boo in my hand, Minsc and Boo on the bottom, exile Ponder. Cast Ponder. Okay, we keep these. Like every single thing that's going on here. Don't shuffle the library, play my land. Next turn, I can Swords to Plowshares, Brainstorm, cast Uro, have another Swords to Plowshares in my hand. However, did not flip again. Oh my god, this one is just from hand. This is EI number 5. Belden Island, not a Wasteland. We're happy. If they cast Murktide here, I'll force it, which I'm not happy about, but I think is necessary. Yep, Force of Will this. My plan is now Minsc and Boo, kill Delver, Plow DRC. Unfortunately, Lightning Bolt kills Minsc and Boo because it creates a trigger. Lightning Bolt also kills me. Alright. Yeah, Lightning Bolt's pretty bad, or Minsc and Boo's pretty bad against Delver for this reason. Would like to make the Boo. That can at least tangle with Delver. If I fetch, I can Plow DRC, but then I lose the Uro, which was a huge part of my plan here. I can't mess around with this. Gotta hit DRC. I lose to Delver revealing Lightning Bolt anyway. I'm gonna leave back Boo, because if Delver doesn't flip, I do have a blocker. I think they just kept their card on top from the Lightning Bolt. Delver flips, revealing Ponder. Here's the Ponder. I'm a Lightning Bolt away from death. Yep, opponent cast 5 EIs to my 3, and that was the whole game. Let's test this Delver sideboard. I map this out as an 8-card sideboard, which Force of Will leaves, Minsc and Boo leave. I think I was doing, oh yeah, Dress Down. Dress Down doesn't do much against Delver, so Minsc and Boo bad against Lightning Bolt. Bring in all this efficient interaction. Endurance is really good. It beats up DRC and Delirium and slows down Murktide, eats Delver, eats DRC in combat. and then all this 1 mana interaction. I don't like Kozilek's Return. It only kills Delver reliably. Turn 1 Carpet of Flowers, I'm in. Yeah, I'm just going to jam Carpet right now while they can't daze it. It's going to cost you a Force of Will if you want to interact with this thing. Worth it. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Will. Okay. They have made their claim that they don't want to play against that card. Channeler is going to get ended through another ending. Happy to see that. Chandra to set up future blue spells, which is the core color of my deck. Brainstorm, you got it. And a Delver with no shuffle. So they are Brainstorm locked. Like that card. And the Delver. I will Pyroblast the shit out of an Expressive Iteration. Not so much a Ponder. I think Expressive Iteration and Murktide Regent are places I'd like to put Pyroblasts in this matchup. They did not shuffle, then also didn't play a land. Imagine you keep EIs in that spot. I'm going to make them act first. Just having Hydro and Pyroblast hanging out here. I don't want to cast my EI into their easy Pyroblast. If they tap out for EI or Murktide here, something I can kill if I need to. Just going to go to my turn. And red, blue. You have to Hydroblast now, which is less commonly played than Pyroblast. Brainstorm in response, go for it. I want to be really careful with my Hydroblast, keeping Price of Progress in mind. You can immediately lose a game where you're miles ahead to Price of Progress. That's the major card that can flip that switch. Wow, they're forcing this. Cool. I'll Pyroblast off of a volcanic island. What did they pitch to do that? A Murktide Regent, wow. Pyroblast did kill Murktide Regent after all. Endurance in my hand. Land on the bottom, exile land, play the land. Go. They can get their little taste for 1 damage. I'll let it happen. They Murktide here, that's kind of... I mean, I have Pyroblast in my graveyard. It's fine. Encounter like Maddening Hex. Alright. If they've been holding Pyroblast this whole time, or I have Hydroblast for Pyroblast, alright. I guess I have to spend my Mystic Sanctuary here being responsible. I'm going to get Tropical Island. That casts my Endurance. That is also my 3rd island. Rebuy this Pyroblast. Really wanted to rebuy EI here, but my opponent's a cop. Yeah, just Pyroblast Murktide. Make sure I don't use the green source that I'm planning to cast Endurance with. And because they didn't Pyroblast, I still have Hydroblast for Price of Progress, so I will play my land. No respect at all. And I'll leave red and blue and white up, just giving the full range of spells that are in my deck to let my opponent think about. Block here. If they Lightning Bolt to finish off Endurance, that's fine. That's a 2-for-1. And it's a card out of their hand. And if they just have nothing, that's even better. I think I do want to Brainstorm. There's a lot of cards that can get the velocity going here. Like a 2nd Endurance. Put the gas on. I really want to counter this, but with Price of Progress and Maddening Hex in the deck somewhere, I just gotta take my medicine and let it resolve. There's been a card floating around in their hand for a while now that they haven't deployed, and there's something they can't fetch or something they are saving for an opportune moment. Speaking of opportune moments, let's clear this EI. Brainstorming in response. This is from the EI's exile. And that means the Brainstorm gets swept up in the Endurance as well. They were digging for force, worth forcing in their current position. Here's my Brainstorm. I know my top card is Basic Island. I'm not going to Brainstorm now. I'll wait a turn. Endurance is doing its work here. DRC. A joke in the face of the mighty Endurance. I'm going to Brainstorm now. Don't really want this Basic Island. Let's cash some stuff in. Yeah, I'm not going to fight over this. Once again, Price of Progress. This as a magic card. My opponent goes to 2, where even if they play Murktide Regent this turn, I can Hydroblast the DRC and kill them through combat. They need a 2nd creature, and they actually can't Murktide with what they have. They'd have to play a land. and then they get a 5/5 Murktide. I'll run this Wasteland out here, and I can waste myself if I need to survive a pop. I can waste them if we get to another turn. Mostly I'm just going to attack with my creatures, though. Unholy Heat, which does not kill the creature. Snapcaster Mage. Opponent is deep here. Pyroblast. So they're just trying to turbo Delirium themselves here. And Pyroblast resolves. Still only 3 card types in the graveyard. This resolves. Alright, cool. I had the Hydroblast to counter the Unholy Heat if they got there, but they just didn't get there anyway. Okay, they're a Snapcaster Mage and Unholy Heat build of this deck. Don't think that really changes anything about my life. I could bring in like Collector Oof against their Mishra's Baubles, but that doesn't seem like a real plan. Yeah, I like the thing I'm on right now, just efficient interaction backed by card advantage. This hand has the worst possible spread of 3 lands you could ever ask for. I'm going to mulligan it. This hand's great. Deep, and even have an easy choice to put the bottom in Mystic Sanctuary. First appearance of Uro in this match. Let's see if he does his thing. Here's Delver. That's pretty great. I'm just going to end it. I was going to save the Plow, make sure Plow resolved on turn 2 with Daze, but if I can just... Damn. Gonna. Like getting Dazed there when I have another redundant removal spell and it sets them back a mana in a game where I'm trying to get to Uro and Endurance. I'm cool with this world. Never be fooled by Wasteland. Do not waste your Delver opponent. You cannot cheese them. There's a little kind of interesting dance going on with this Delver. Because, like, normally you wait for Delver to give information before you remove it. Like, the extra 2 life doesn't really matter if it flips versus knowing a card in their hand. But they can fetch if they don't like the card they see. So by leaving Delver in play, I'm fishing for information, but I'm also giving them information. A little bit of a wibbly wobbly, and I just have to decide who that information is more important for. Wasteland, annoying. I will fire off my Plow here. I'm going to play the Wasteland just because that's not a great target for Wasteland. I'm not going to use it. Brainstorm, I'm not able to interact with. Okay, cool. They did not slam Murktide Regent. Okay, I can Uro this turn and Murktide and Expressive Iteration next turn. I am tapping out, but I think it is necessary. Savannah doesn't cast EI, so I have to get Trop here. Oh, my Savannah's already in the graveyard, so I didn't have a choice anyway. Checkmate, Atheist. Let's see if the front half of Uro is worth interaction. Come on, land. Land, 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 land. Yep, had it the whole time. Very easy. The one spot where I would encourage looking for the opportunity to Wasteland Delver is if they are cracking their 4th fetch land and might get Mystic Sanctuary. You can take them off 3 islands before they get there. With Uro in the mix this game, I kind of want to blast this. And I want to do it off Tropical Island. I know this taps me out of access to white for a while, but like last game I held forever, clutched my pearls over Price of Progress, but I have Uro and Wasteland this time around to mitigate that. I think I just want to main phase Endurance. I'm not going to jam this Uro into Pyroblast. They can't force a negation. Endurance. We can play on your turn. I'm doing it now so they can't just shove Murktide into play, because I don't currently have a good answer to that. I can Mystic Sanctuary, but I don't have white to cast the Plow that I would recur with the Mystic Sanctuary. Ending Hex. That's annoying, but I have non-creatures to play this, or creatures to play this game on. And I mean, Blue Elemental Blast is right there in my graveyard, should I choose to pursue it. Okay, I'm going to attack my opponent and fetch Tundra and play Uro. If they Pyroblast, they Pyroblast, whatever. Tundra, blue, blue, green, green. I'm giving up on Loam in favor of Mystic Sanctuary options. So they probably have the Pyroblast here. It's fine. Uro is still looming in the future. Sure, you got it. That will recur again one day. Wasteland. Okay. Probably take me off white. Red takes me off Expressive Iteration. I guess it depends on how hard they're leaning on this Maddening Hex to win them the game. And this card is good, don't get me wrong. It's going to do some damage. But at 19 without a creature helping it, right. Expressive Iteration's off the menu. They can make up 4/4 Murktide Regent right now. And that is what has happened. Rainstorm. I'm going to plow Murktide, take my medicine. Did 3. And I will keep medicating myself. Rainstorm. I'd really like this Uro in play. I took 6 on that one. Sure, no problem. Totally normal business. I'm going to put back Loam and one of the EIs and invest in Uro. So I've taken 9 off of 2 Maddening Hex triggers, and may or may not matter in the long run. We'll find out. I'm going to fetch, and I think I want Mystic Sanctuary. I want Mystic Sanctuary. And recurring the Blue Blast is pretty good. Having my colors is also good. I'm going to get red. Doing something. Price of Progress. Well, yes, I'm fucked. Yeah. These are the powerful sideboard cards that I was talking about, and we're going to lose to them for sure. Oh. I wasted myself in a way that gave me all my colors, but if I had left double green up, then any blue source gets me Uro this turn. I'm actually not going to target anything because it doesn't matter. I guess I have to target something. I'm going to leave it there because casting the spell will probably kill me, and I want to draw a land to get Uro into play. Opponent's at 4 over there. They took a bunch from the pop as well. Another EI that I can't cast or I die. Back with Endurance. All right, don't have anything. Go. Maddening Hex did 9 points in 2 rolls, and then Price of Progress, and then you just lose anyway. Got him! On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the play against a Yorion deck, these days, Yorion is more likely to be either 5-color Zenith or Cephalid Breakfast, somehow, just viable legacy deck again. I'm excited to report that, but yeah. I'm not going to make a keep based on this being Death and Taxes, which is the opposite of what I would have done 6 months ago. My hand's great, though. It's full of lands and options. I like this hand against Death and Taxes, and I like it against Blue Soup. It's not great against Cephalid Breakfast, if that's what they are. Fetch land pass here. See what they're up to. Wow. Okay. I stand corrected. This is a great time to have Brainstorm in my hand. Remember how I said I'm leaving for an event in a couple hours? Well, my time is running short, and pairing into Death and Taxes is the absolute nightmare because this is going to take forever, even if I win. Brainstorming into 3 lands also kind of a nightmare. I'm going to get Volcanic Island, or I think I actually want Taiga. That gets me red and also lets me cast Endurance if I draw it. All right, deck. I've had quite enough of what you're offering me here. Thalia, Stuffing, the Expressive Iteration, huge beating. And there's so many lands in my hand that Expressive Iterationing into a 1-mana spell isn't even good enough now. I have to hit a land, which there are not many left in my deck. Stoneforge Mystic, cool. I'm not a deck that just dies to Kaldra, but I still don't want to play against Kaldra. Oh my god. What the fuck, deck? Yeah, I am a deck with tons of interaction and struggling to find anything that is a spell. Ponder in my hand, Wasteland on the bottom, exile Flooded Strand, and Thalia cannot cast the spell. Terminus is in my deck, though. Terminus can just flip an entire board against Death and Taxes. I'm going to start taking massive beats here. 7 plus 7 plus fetch. I'm dead next turn. All right, time to flip Terminus, I guess. Terminus. Terminus. Force of Will. There was never a good time for that, but it's certainly not now. Ponder. Towards the Plowshares, okay. Sucks that I have to shuffle away the Uro that I do quite actively. Do not shuffle my library. A Tropical Island. Or this is all my white sources, isn't it? All right, I better play a white source. Do I want to rebuy any of these things? I don't think so. The best card in my graveyard's already in my hand. I'll get Tropical Island and take out the Germ. That takes a lot of pressure off. Still dying, but more slowly. Go to 5 here. Go to the lab. Come on, Terminus. 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 Attic Ending. I think I want to end Thalia. The Spirit has 3 power, though, which tapping me out of red was really smart. Even when my opponents are smart. I'm going to take out Spirit of the Lab. And there's a trick here you can do if you've not seen this before. Announce Prismatic Ending for X equals 0, and then Thalia makes it cost 1 more, and then you just pay a different color. Ending doesn't care what the X value is, it just cares what colors of mana were spent to cast it. So, 2 mana to exile a 2-drop, just like Richard Garfield intended. My plan is to wasteland the Rishadan and try to do something next turn. So I might as well do that now, if that's what I'm going to do. This at least also constricts their mana second main. In case they want to like flash in Solitude on me or something for some extra damage. I'm at 2, need Terminus. Orion is in the grip. Come on, removal spells. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath is not a bad card though. Uro. I could front and back Uro here. That gets Caracas, but does a lot of means a lot of life, draws a lot of cards in the meantime. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, go ahead. You can Caracas Uro. I'll gain 6 life, draw 2 cards. And then do it again next turn. And put a bunch of extra lands into play, just miles ahead of Thalia at this point. And I can force the Yorion because I hit the land drop. Okay. We're cooking. Go to 5 here. Play to re-Caracas. Do I want a Mystic Sanctuary or just get a normal land? Gonna fetch. I'm definitely forcing Yorion. That's happening. Sanctuary doesn't actually remove Thalia because they have Caracas. I'll just get a normal land. I'm gonna force pitching Ponder. Go back down to 3, but Uro is still chilling. There's another wasteland in my deck somewhere. Blue, colorless, green, Force of Will. If I bring Uro back and don't hit a land, I can't plow Thalia, but this is what I signed up for. Green. Okay, if I hit the untapped mana source off of Uro right now, when they bounce it, I can clear Thalia. Not, then I don't. And we'll just play this Uro game for a while. Hit Life from the Loam after exiling all my lands. Sure. I can Force of Will again this turn if I need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They only have 5 mana, so they can't equip Cauldron this turn, even with a land drop. And they played Caracas as their 6th land last turn. So if they have a land at all, it's not one that they want to play. Iganjo. Recruiter. Could just force the Recruiter. I don't really want to, though. They're probably going to get Flicker Wisp with this. Then Flicker Recruiter. I'm going to force. Do I force? I don't want them to get any chains going here. And they just opened up the tap out to Swords of Plowshares, shredding their board. Durance, that's a creature with power and toughness. I kill Thalia. And blue, colorless. And coming in, this one can get the Mystic Sanctuary. It might finally be time. I can Swords of Plowshares and Endurance this turn. Really tangle. If they have land number 7, go to equip. I blast the creature they're trying to equip and then block the other one. Fine, Thalia resolves. My Endurance Ambush strat is still alive. We haven't seen a Plow or Solitude yet this game, so I probably imagine they exist. And I'm not going to target anyone. They don't use their graveyard, but they do have a lot of cool tutors in their deck. So I don't want to put Yorion and Flickerwisp back in. And my graveyard is actively busy right now. Remember Uro? I don't actually want to use Mystic Sanctuary, though. Ooh, that's good. I want to get Loam involved. Volcanic Island. That's Loam. There's only one fetchable land left in my deck. Attacking for a 4 right now. I'm going to take this 4 and plow Forge Mystic in the end step. We should have main phased that. I don't know. Not dredging Loam. Medic ending. You good? You can take Thalia out of 1, 2, or 5. Ugh. Alright, I guess I'm gonna fetch for the Mystic Sanctuary. Put the Swords to Plowshares on top of my deck. Go for another Uro. Blue, blue, green, green. Exile all the cards. Stupid Caracas. Swords to Plowshares. Alright, they're making Uro gone, which is fine. I'm kind of into the life gain here. I'm kind of playing chicken with the Cauldra, because if I Swords to Plowshare something main phase and then they're like land equip, that's not great. Also not great just getting hit with this Thalia forever. But they've now hit the magic number for Cauldra. I'm going to plow the Recruiter and start taking pressure off. This takes it from a 4-turn clock to a 6-turn clock. Oh, Uro again. What a frustrating magic card. Oh, they're going to Solitude this, and I'm going to dress it down. It's going to be great. Dress down in response. They still get a Solitude, which is a big creature that can hold Cauldra. I'm not going to say I'm having a great time here, but that was a good one. Oh, hell yeah. Caracas can keep Thalia in check. Gives and it takes. Burrows in the graveyard now, and I'm going to ponder while Thalia is sleeping. I have tons of white mana. Little tight on green. Okay. Force of Will, Prismatic Ending. I'll take the Force of Will underneath. And I'm going to plow nothing. I can plow on their turn, if necessary. Mizawa's Jite. Good card. Equip to Solitude now. Caracas, send your Thalia. Towards the Plowshares, your Solitude. You're playing Thalia. I have Prismatic Ending that can remove it forever. So, honestly, don't even care. I'm worried about the clock more than anything right now. Here's Thalia back. Yep, pass the turn. I would feel ahead in real life, but I'm 4 minutes behind on the clock. And that is a concern on Magic Online. If their board is under control and I can answer the next 3 things they're going to do. Yorion's already out of the mix. Wasteland. Get Caracas. An Uro. Green. Blue. Blue. Green. My Loam's already gone. Might as well commit to this. I can force an answer to the Uro. Let's go. How it happens. Clave Apparition. Bounce Thalia and cast Force. I would rather have Uro than a 3/3 token. Oh, they had Caracas the whole time. Got me with the sandbag. And my Loam is gone. They bounce Uro. They lose the ability to save their Thalia. May or may not actually care about. I'm going to end Spiritual Lab, then move to combat. Bouncing Uro. Did it. Bounce Thalia. Oh, that wasn't good. Might have just fucked up. They have 6, 7, 8. They're 1 mana short of just whipping Cauldra immediately. Here's Minsc and Boo. Red, green, 1, 2. Minsc and Boo. Yes, make a Boo. I'm gonna cast Ponder. I'll keep all these cards. I'm going to sacrifice the hamster to deal 1 to them, because they have Caracas in play. And get much better than that. There is 1 endurance left in my deck to not deck myself. Reach the hardcast Timeless Dragon phase of the game. Honestly, with both my Wastelands gone and my Loam gone, I'm not sure if I can actually win. This deck just having 4 Caracases in it is rough. I have to win with my 1 remaining endurance, basically. And even endurance can't loop the Wastelands because they were both eaten to the Uro early on. Maybe I just need to plan strategically, like just firing off that Wasteland on Caracas, like, haha, here's Uro, when I could have just waited to get 1 more card in the graveyard and then leave Wasteland where it can be recurred by endurance and then like at least have a long-term plan. Opponent is either in the tank or AFK or something, but several minutes have ticked off their clock here in my upkeep, which is my win condition, honestly. I would like to reveal Terminus. Getting rid of this Timeless Dragon is pretty nice. They can bounce their own Thalia to save it, but if they do that, no, that is just the play, because Boo is getting swept up as well. We got a sorry in the chat. I assume that means for the long pause here, but no, take your time. I'm cool. I'm chilling. Here's Terminus. I lose nothing of value because my Boo was already dead. And they save their Thalia. They lose their Timeless Dragon. Activate Narset. Finding another Minsc Boo. That doesn't do anything. Take EI, I guess. And Blue Red. Force of Will in my hand. Minsc Boo on the bottom. Style Uro. Uro. Green, blue. Colorless. Found a land that I probably should not have put into play because of anything. Plus Minsc Boo. And pass the turn. Still hanging out on my own Caracas here that is stopping me from doing anything about this Thalia. I'm going to suit up the Boo. Let them bounce it with Caracas. It's fine. This is the Uro from hand. 10 cards left in my deck. Not going to put this Misty Rainforest into play. And I guess I'm just passing the turn. Like, what even is my plan here? It's to win with endurance, but also not really a thing that I can do. I think I have to make this game last as long as possible. Direction Specialist. And here I said they don't use their card. You're making a liar on me, opponent. I'm gonna counter that. I think I need to just tread water as long as possible, put as many spells back in my deck, and then endurance somehow. Not convinced I can beat this Caracas though. Back these lands and gas up Boo. Yeah, I can't deck them. I can't do anything here. Yeah, I'm actually just dead. There's only 2 Wastelands in the deck. They're all gone. Yeah, I needed to plan more with my Wastelands. And now I need to win 2 games in 9 minutes, which I definitely can't do. Kozilek's Return. Definite. Force of Vigor is maybe. Press Down's good. Don't love Force of Will. Minsc Boo is good when they don't have Caracas and terrible when they do. I mean, Endurance is looping each other is how I can win a mega long game, which I don't really have time for, but I think is how I would approach this matchup in real life. Loam's essential, Dress Down is important. I do like some number of forces in the deck. I think I'm going to shave a Narset. Uro being legendary kind of sucks, but I think it's better than Narset. I'll keep my hand. It has both of my forces in it. Cool. Plains. I can Brainstorm and Ponder here. Brainstorm, bury the forces, a Tropical Island, or I want Savannah, but that doesn't cast Ponder. Another land and Ponder, I'll keep those. Spirit of the Lab, that gets hit with by Force of Vigor. It also gets blocked by Endurance. Land, cool. A Float of Green. Then fetch Savannah. Don't like using an Endurance this early, but I am going to hit my graveyard, put all these cards back in for later. There of Runes, okay. You know, I could get cute with the dress down, but I think I'd rather just remove this mother from play. Kozilek's Return is in my deck somewhere. I think I need to dress this down. Not really prepared to beat it. This Spirit's tough, but I can force it next turn. Unlock my cantrips. Ooh. Or I can do this immediately. Minsc Boo. Yes, and I'm actually going to sack a hamster. I can pick off Spirit of the Labyrinth this way. Apparently I don't draw a card. I feel like that's not correct. I also just attacked and let my Minsc Boo die. What the fuck, man? I just saw an opportunity to attack, forgetting that Minsc Boo is at 1. Yep, not interested in winning this game, apparently. Yeah, bafflingly unbelievable play there. And Field of Ruin is just strip mine against me. A Brainstorm with the land that they are porting. Force of Vigor can go, and Prismatic Ending can sit on top. My land, Ponder, another Ponder, don't shuffle. I'm gonna get, should not have gotten Volcanic Island. God. I'm gonna Ponder with this now as well. Can't get away from this Force of Vigor. Maybe someday it'll be helpful. I'm gonna end Stoneforge Mystic. Gotta play a little more aggressively than I normally would. Tickling Timeless Dragon. Sure. Dragon up. That taps them out of all their mana disruption, which is what I was worried about this turn. I was worried about getting Field of Ruin, then ported, and then never casting a red spell. Let's fire off this EI while I can. I'll put Misty in my hand, Force on the bottom, exile Wasteland. Play Wasteland, use it to play Uro. Uro puts in Misty. Another EI lined up. Towards the Plowshares, keep pushing damage. Towards the Plowshares from you as well. All right, they have 3 cards in hand to my 1. My 1 card I have is Expressive Iteration, Surgical my Uros, okay. Now I have 1 Endurance and 2 Minsc Boos, or one Endurance, 1 Minsc Boo left to win the game with. Hard mode activated. Spirit. They also just saw my deck. They know that I don't have any basics, if they even care about that. Just gonna EI. Cool. Red. But Brainstorm in my hand, and on the bottom, exile Caracas. Play Caracas, and pass the turn. Land's pretty good. Green, green, colorless. Endurance, which will target myself after I Mystic Sanctuary in EI back. Okay, running out of win conditions here. Yeah, I was just playing fast on that Minsc Boo play. Like, so far they haven't really indicated an ability to remove the Minsc Boo. Anyway, kill your creatures and cast Brainstorm. Put Terminus 2 down. I'm actually just going to concede this because I can't win 2 games in 4 minutes. I messed up game 1 by, I needed to leave at least 1 Wasteland kicking around. Like, you need to plan for like the second and third time you go through your deck for this matchup. I think in game 1, if I was just a little more patient on firing off the second Wasteland, get another card for Uro, exile that instead of Wasteland, then I can Endurance my Wasteland, play through the next Caracas, etc. Yeah, that's what I needed to do. But Caracas just solos this deck if it's unchecked. GG's. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw in the last round with a really weird hand. I'm going to try it. In any fair matchup, this is actually fine. Like, this represents a pretty fast lone block, which is not something this deck is built to do, but we're in there. Uh-oh, please cast Ponder. Oh, shit. This is not a matchup that you want to try to waste lock. So it's kind of what my hand does. Don't do this at home. I'm trying it for science. Like, if they had pondered, this would have been easy, but opponent mulled to 6, and I have 2 Wastelands. If I can keep them off anything and then find a removal for Delver, or just get Uro going, Okay, the cheese seems to be functioning. All right, race to answer this Delver versus them drawing a land. Okay, they are cheesed. Do I want to cast Loam here? If I cast Loam, yeah, I think I do. This opens up Wasteland on me, though, that I don't love. Tropical Island. I only actually get one land back here because I have to discard to hand size. I'm going to target Wasteland. Basically, my plan here is to dredge the Loam so I can turbo out Uro. Okay, can't daze me. Would have to force Uro. Not going to dredge Loam now. Uro. We're in there. Still not going to dredge Loam now. I'm thinking about it for next turn. Terminus. Sad little beastie. Yeah, so I'm going to dredge Loam, which turbos out Uro. Also, could put spells in my deck for Mystic Sanctuary. The Uro undid a Delver connection. They're going to clean up over there. Started Lightning Bolt. Dredge Loam. And I have not come up with a spell that I want to cast. Oh, here's Uro. Green, blue, blue, green. Force of Will is super annoying, but if this resolves, we're in. I can hard cast Terminus next turn. This little Delver, it's going the distance. I'm at 6 now. That's Force of Will plus land Lightning Bolt away from death. About Swords to Plowshares. Good. Here's Wasteland, and I'm gonna fetch to 5. And I'm hardcasting Terminus. We know all 6 cards in their hand are spells, just have to hope they're not specifically Force of Will. Oh my god, Force Pitching Murktide. We're gonna die to this Delver. Just completely unmolested. Alright, last chance deck. Draw me a card. Ponder. Let's play. There's not a trick to do with the Mystic Sanctuary here, unfortunately. Is there a trick with the Loam? 1, 2, cast Loam, Ponder, Dredge Loam, land Uro. There. If I cast Loam, I have 4 mana left. I can Ponder, Dredge Loam. That puts exactly 5 in on Uro. I mean, this is as good as anything, because I lose to Force of Will no matter what. Might as well do the best thing I can do. Loam with no targets. Green, colorless. Ponder. Still have green, green, blue, blue available. Any order. Shuffle the library, and then dredge Loam. Then green, green, blue, blue. Did you have 3 Force of Wills? Yep, just 1 Delver and 3 Force of Wills. GG. Proper Delvering. Well, that sucked really hard. Endurance, Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, Blue Blast, all coming in, Carpet coming in. Yeah, I mean, my opponent who did not manipulate their deck at all and only cast 1 spell off 1 mana that whole game just had 3 forces in their hand. I'm not gonna, like, feel bad about that. Fucking whatever. Boo, Force, and press down, out, and this is the plan. Go. Keep. Now we have to win a game where they have their Price of Progresses in. I'm gonna lead on Tropical Island. In case they interact with the Carpet, I want to make sure I can cast Ponder. Island straight into play. Ponder. I could just jam EI on turn 2. I'm gonna Ponder though. Some blue, cast Ponder. Loam Wasteland again. Once again, I don't recommend this, but once again, I'm doing it. And I'm not going to cast the other Ponder. Oh, shit. Oh, no. All right. I thought I missed my land drop, but I cast the Wasteland, or played the Wasteland. My brain is scrambled right now. Oh, we want to play in idiot mode. Deal. Maximum idiocy. I'm drawing Loam, which is the best card you can ever have when you're in idiot mode. I'm going to get my basic island and cast Ponder. Yeah, okay. 3 lands off the Ponder. Exactly what I want in this situation. Opponent's given me an island to trigger off of. I'm going to try to waste lock them. A green off of the carpet. Cast loam, target wasteland, trop, red strand. That's fine. I have real lands I can play. That did the same thing of getting their land out of play. Brainstorm. They must have surgical in their deck if they're just main phase jamming Brainstorm with no land drop available. Just trying to clear this loam before it's too late. I am going to dredge loam. Hitting Uro here is pretty good. I know my top card was a land. Yes, make green. Cast loam, target. I hit another wasteland here. Wasteland, flooded strand. Force of Will, pitching Murktide Regent. That's where they are. Go with it. Uh-oh. Alright, now they're just going to jam Murktide and go to town. RC. I'm ready for that one. Ready for both of these, actually. I am going to continue dredging loam. Probably should have fetched first. Yes, make green. Play from the loam, target Tundra, Wasteland, and I think there are exactly 2 white sources left in my deck. Yeah, Tundra and Savannah are both here. Wasteland, Prismatic Ending, start with DRC, get the Delver. Cool. I'm gonna stop dredging loam for a little while. Yeah, okay. Don't plan to waste lock people, but it is there if the deck offers it up. That's weird that it happened twice in a row when it's not really like a thing that's supposed to happen at all. No loam here, but Chain of EIs. I like Hydroblast. I like removal spells. Keeping the bobble. Bobbled themselves. Didn't like the card. Shuffled it away. And no 1-drop. Yes, please. I would like to save Hydroblast for Price of Progress or Maddening Hex, but we'll see how this game shakes out. They have their Steam Vents this early. I'm gonna fetch Savannah. Savannah doesn't cast EI. Guess I'm getting Tundra. It's basically like, do I want to play towards Uro or towards EI? I think it's EI. I have to get Tundra. Dramatic Ending this creature. Land? Fuck my life. Got my white source, okay. Do have a land. It's not a pretty one, but I am still hitting land drops. I can still cast EI next turn. Ponder, don't like it. By playing Mystic Sanctuary, I have told them out loud that I don't have another land to play. Fuck. I'm gonna float red, make them think I have something I don't have because I don't think they actually have a spell to cast. Alright, land. Too easy. Had it. Like, the flip side of Wasteland is if it pinches me from playing spells, it's devastating, but if I get ahead of it, then they've wasted a bunch of lands on nothing really. Do I want to fight this creature? Don't have a plateau. I really want to resolve Expressive Iteration. Okay. I am going to Hydroblast this thing just in the interest of not fucking around and finding out. I've played brilliantly around Price of Progress by simply not having any lands in play. Cool. Trop in hand, Uro on bottom, exile Trop. This Trop also gives me Ponder. I have green for Endurance. And here's a bunch more lands. Alright. Let's party. Now I suddenly have to be concerned about Price of Progress again, but Uro and Endurance are in the mix. I have Swords to Plowshares. We're doing stuff here. That squeeze point where I'm worried that I might not play the game at all has come and gone, and I'm definitely going to play the game now. Now I have to worry about getting cheated by individual red spells that kill me. Murktide Regent, not that bad, all things considered. I'm just going to fire the Swords to Plowshares first. Put you to the test on that one. No action there, and here comes Uro. Not worth dazing. I appreciate that. And I can... My Mystic Sanctuary is already in play. Might as well put the island in. Play around Price of Progress as much as I can, wherever I can. Top's good for 8 right now. It also 8s them, and we are both at 20 or more life. EI always a disaster. And they do have Mystic Sanctuary available. If I get to untap, I can hit them with Endurance. But if they just main phase the shit... Okay, they found a Wasteland. Go after my white, please. Shit. All right, went after red. Unfortunately, red overlapped with green. A brainstorm in the second main. Brainstorm sucks because that incentivizes fetching now, which turns off my endurance from blanking their Mystic Sanctuary. Just hope they find Pyroblast and not Delver here. Shit. Just snapped it right off. No hesitation. Okay. They did not find Mystic Sanctuary. And for DRC instead. And I'm going to cast Endurance first. Right now, in the main phase. No soup for you, as the children say. If they go too hard on this EI and Surveil, then DRC has to attack into Endurance. But if they don't go hard enough, then Murktide won't arrive fast enough. Or land was the exile, so Mystic Sanctuary is back on the menu. Nope, still not interested. What the fuck? This is a card in your deck? Alright. Well, I have 3 Hydroblasts. My basic's in play. I can still cast EI. I already have a 3/4. Alright, whatever. Let's do this. Okay, Expressive Iteration. You know about that card? Pyroblast in hand. Plow on the bottom. I'd like it someday. Exile Loam. It is not necessary or helpful. I am going to attack my opponent. There are 2 Hydroblasts in my deck. They get Delirium. They would need a second island before they can Murktide or affect their graveyard in any way. And as soon as they get Delirium, I'm ready to this DRC on defense. And I'm currently winning the race. Their deck has burn spells in it, and mine doesn't. Second DRC. Annoying. Oh, there's Hydroblast. Unfortunately, Pyroblast is really good. Yeah, I may dance around this for as long as I can before I fire off my Hydroblast, my Blue Blast, whatever one this is. This card I'm holding. EI. I'm gonna Pyroblast EI. Bend to Force of Will. They're now Delirious. They bend. Going to counter target spell if it's blue. Looks blue to me. Right now, Endurance needs to be on defense. I mean, Force of Will's not in my deck. Literally Pyroblast that I'm... Alright. Making my move in the end step. I may have just unlocked their Murktide Regents, but I have answers to those ready. Did unlock my Uro. Blue, green, green, blue. Here's Uro. They didn't Pyroblast last turn. And I imagine they'd want to protect the Blood Moon. Here's Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I thought they were going to price progress me in response, but apparently not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to Prismatic Ending one of these creatures. More selection is not where I want them to be. Force of Negation. EI is on top of their deck right now. There is 1 Volcanic Island left in my deck. I am not going to counter this. These things have to attack. EI is your top card. Yeah, I'm just going to let Endurance eat these up. 1 card in their hand would have to be Murktide Regent for them to not get completely obliterated here. Yeah, I should have just let that resolve without fetching. I just telegraphed what I'm up to here. If they find a Wasteland and can clear my red source here, I have no one to blame but myself. Chose not to shuffle. Let these DRCs happen. Into Brainstorm. Kept a second card. Counter target spell if it's blue. Must have kept Interaction or a Murktide Regent. Those are the things that are good here. And I can kill the Murktide and start bashing with Uro, if that is the last card in their hand. Be Theft, targeting Endurance. Oh, okay. They're going to try to race Uro. Fascinating. I guess that's better than just a creature dying for absolutely free. Uro, get in there. Where's the Plowshare is a good card. And I'm going to let them untap and try to Murktide me. I'd rather eat a DRC. If I was dead to Murktide, I wouldn't take this line, but I have 2 answers to Murktide in my hand. So let's enjoy this free lunch. And even if they drew Force of Will, I can Red Blast it. Okay, and they scooped it up. A 3-2 record, lost a narrow one to Doomsday, and lost one that I punted against Death and Taxes. We also just ran out of time and there was a lot more game to play, but lost a game 1 that was winnable. I don't really like how soft a Caracas this deck is, but I do have 2 Wastelands, Light from the Loam, and Endurance to recur the Wastelands. I don't think any of that is worth playing, just like some creature or like a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like I could turn Minsc and Boo number 3 into Jace the Mind Sculptor number 1, and that just obliterates the Caracas decks, or the decks that are hiding behind Caracas. I don't want to play a Murktide Regent because that steps on Uro's Graveyard, Hunger. Yeah, playing a Jace over the 3rd Minsc and Boo is reasonable, but there's Pyroblast and Lightning Bolts and Unholy Heats everywhere. Could play Wandering Emperor or something like that. Or I could just plan better and not eat all my Wastelands and my Loam before the last Caracas was revealed. Yeah, I like this deck. I'll probably play it. It might be 1 or 2 cards different than what you see here. I'll have to think about it over the next... I'm leaving in like 2 hours right now. I have to figure it out. I'll have to sleep this thing up too. But yeah, that's 4-color Minsc and Boo. We beat Delver both times we played it. Doomsday is a tough matchup that we have the tools to beat, and they edged us out in a 3-game set. That is well within expectation, and Death and Taxes is a tough matchup that you can't fuck up in, and I did in fact fuck up. Checked all the boxes here. This played exactly how I thought it would. I like the Kozilek's returns. I like where the sideboard is. The one of Carpet of Flowers was huge in the Delver matchups. That doesn't mean I want more, but I do like the one. Yeah, the only thing I'm really going to think about here is if I want the 3rd Minsc and Boo to be a non-legendary threat. And other than that, I'm ready to rock. Okay, I'm going to go pack for my trip. Brendan, thank you for inviting me to play a good deck. Always happy to do that. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon, all that stuff in the video description that helps the channel. I appreciate you being here, as always, and I'll see you next time.